You've been competing and judging in floral art for years. Why create an AI-powered review tool like Floral Art Review?
Yes, that's true. I have been competing for probably over 20 years now. But when I started out, there was a preference for judges to give you feedback, written feedback generally. And that helped me on my journey because I wasn't formally trained. I wasn't a florist. I hadn't really been exposed to floristry or floral design or floral art in any of its forms. I came from a position of having flowers grow on the family farm, selling them at the farm gate, and wanting to do something a little bit different other than just put them into bunches, because I guess I have an artistic flair. I had a feel for the plant material. That isn't the same for everyone. Sometimes they want a different kind of outlet. It's something that the family did, their mothers, their grandmothers, aunties, special people in their lives did. And so we all start out at different points. But somewhere along the journey, we need some help with how we are seeing the designs and how better to interpret class titles if you're doing competitions, or how better to use the plant material just generally if you're doing it for pure pleasure. These days, there's not so much opportunity for that kind of feedback. And so I wanted to give people an opportunity to get feedback regardless of the reason that they're doing the floral design work. But in terms of competition, if we just focus on that, if you're lucky enough to get feedback at a competition, it is after the competition. And how much better would it be if in that developing process of your design before a competition, you were able to get some feedback that was relevant to your design. You could do it in private, you could try out the suggestions. And so it was from those two parts that I really wanted to focus on providing something for this wonderful community and for people who've not been exposed to it before, to help them on that journey and to allow them to learn at their own pace and to learn the things that they're interested in rather than be in a formal, traditional learning environment.
Why create a separate site for this instead of just keeping it inside the competition space?
Competitions are not for everyone. I understand that. I do enjoy a competition, and I have always enjoyed competition, regardless of whether it was floral design or anything else. And that's just me. But in terms of keeping this part of the feedback loop separate to competitions, is that not it's competitions are not for everyone. And so I wanted to, as I said before, have something that anyone could use. Simple as taking a photo, uploading it, put a few notes about what you were thinking when you did the design, and then just getting that instant feedback so that you can digest it in your own time and in your own way, and that you can then try some of the suggestions that come through, or you might, in looking at that critique, something else might come to your own mind. And it's about that exploration of your own creative style and of how you understand the the flowers and the plant material and the things that you're using, and how they can work in your environment. Because if we put the competition aside, when we're designing something, often it's for inside the house or to give to someone as a gift, and we want to have some personal input into that arrangement, that design, so that it has our mark on it. And this way you can practice your design, upload it, get a few ideas, play with it again, and have it as the best design it could possibly be, given your skills, your material that you can use, and the purpose that you want for this design.
Some traditionalists argue that an AI can't evaluate true artistic expression or soul in floral design. How do you respond to that?
One of the elephants in the room at the moment in terms of this transition that we are going through in the floral design world between what we have always done and always has been around into a more hybrid area where AI particularly isn't about taking away the soul of human judging. It is about making sure that designs have the structural components, the basic components that all judges use of the principles and elements of design. So it's things like texture and line and contrast and colour, balance, harmony, proportion and scale. And all of those things are imminently measurable. Now, our AI, Design Eye, has been trained on thousands and thousands of images of designs using those core principles so that we're confident, and I'm confident in terms of me using it personally for my design development, that it will give you some sense of how your design and how what you've presented measures in terms of those very mechanical elements and principles that any design, any good design should have.
Can an AI really evaluate a design accurately from just a single photo?
The short answer is it can. Any of you who have watched any of my videos, and now we've got over 100 videos where our AI Design Eye has looked at an old design of mine, a competition design, and given me feedback. I walk through that feedback, I walk through the suggestions, and as is my way in these videos, I will think about the changes that I would make to a design as I'm going through that analysis. I don't see the analysis before I do the video, so it's all new information to me. So you will see in some of the videos I'm reading the information and I'm already thinking of the things I would change, and I find it hard to switch from talking to you about what the AI is telling me into what I'm thinking about as it's all happening in the moment. But there are, as I say, over 100 videos. I've looked at all sorts of ways of implementing the changes that have been suggested in those videos. Some of them have come to pass as things that I always remember when I'm doing my designs. And so that has been a real educational process for me. I've been doing it for over 2 years. So well and truly at the beginning of when AI was around, I started to think about how this could help me with my designs, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to have the technical expertise on hand to help me with that implementation of AI into the floral design world. And increasingly, I am seeing people from all over the world who find it useful, whether they're doing it just because it's their hobby and they're interested in it and they want to be the best they can at this particular activity, or whether they're doing it for competition. So it really is about letting that AI look at your design, give you that information, and then you thinking about what that information is. So there's always a human in this loop.
Is AI feedback meant to replace human judges and live competitions?
Not at all. In terms of live competitions, I think there's always going to be a place for human judges. But what might happen sometime in the future, I'm not talking now, I'm not talking immediately necessarily, but there might be an opportunity for when there is a decrease in judges available, human judges available, that they are able to access the AI to do that determination of the structural components of a design, of the elements and principles of design, and then they input or they overlay on that their own interpretation, and takes the pressure off them when there's not enough judges or human judges around to actually get around to all of the designs, to look at the design and give it the time that it needs. This will cut the process in half. It's about also allowing competitors to train and get their designs as perfect as they possibly can be in private before they put themselves on the line in a live competition. Now that's very different to the online competitions. We do have an ongoing online global competition that happens, and that is purely looked at through the AI lens, through our Design Eye judging process. Not just one judge, but 3 judges. So you're going to get the benefit of a range of assessments within that competition. But that's for another video, another discussion. But in terms of live competitions, I don't see this as completely replacing human judges.
What would you say to someone who has never done floral art before? but suddenly has the time and wants to try?
I would absolutely encourage you to give it a try. There's no prerequisites, there's no public judgment, you don't have to get expensive materials. You can absolutely start from what you can find in the garden or what you can collect from your neighbour's garden, or if you want to, you can go down and buy some flowers from the supermarket and have a play with them. Have a play with them initially, submit your design through the Floral Art review process, look at what it says, make the adjustment. It's all about you being able to experiment, to have fun, to enjoy something that you're learning that's new at your own pace in your own space.
If I'm a complete beginner, won't a formal judge's scorecard feel overwhelming?
Well, firstly, I want to emphasize that it's not a scorecard. You don't get a number result, you get information. And so, what the results from the analysis will show you is that in terms of those principles and elements of design, so things like line and color and balance and harmony, texture, contrast, all those things, it will have a couple of sentences, one or two sentences after each one, that explains what it is seeing in the design in terms of that principle or that element. And then at the end of your report, there'll be 3 or 4 suggestions about things that you could do that are very specific to that design to change it up, to make it a little bit more of an adhering design to those principles and elements, things you can try. It is very much about you being able to understand the information that is being given in your feedback and being able to have actionable steps, as we used to say in the corporate world, things that you can do straight away that will give you a different view of that design and might make it more comfortable for you to be actually able to look at it and decide what else you would like to do with the design.
Do I need a shop or fancy studio setup to use Floral Art Review?
Absolutely not. You can do it from the bench if you're a florist and you've got a shop bench, but you can do it from the kitchen table. For many, many years, I used to take photos on a stool in front of a kitchen cupboard because it was the only blank background that I could find in the house. So it's about you just being comfortable, being able to use some way of taking an image of your design. So whether it's on your phone camera or somewhere else, uploading that, putting a few lines about what you were thinking about when you put the design together, or if it's for a competition, what the competition title is, the schedule, the requirements, that sort of thing, and then pressing enter, and it's done. Well, you have to pay your money, of course. There is a charge for each of the analyses, but it's a minimal charge and it just covers the costs of us making sure that the system is working well and keeping up to date with the way it should be analysing it. So the short answer, after all that blah blah, is take the photo somewhere where it's going to show off the best, your design to the best of its. So the short answer is something to take an image of your design. Phone camera is fine. A way to upload it. So you can obviously do that from your phone as well if you've got internet access. A few words about the design, whether it's the class title or it's what you were thinking when you put the design together. Pay the entry fee, which is a minimal fee just that covers our costs in terms of having the service available, and you'll have literally in seconds the results back for you to have a look at. So it doesn't take any time at all.
How does it actually work once someone visits floralartreview.com?
So simple 4 steps. Log in or register first of all if you haven't used the service before. So log in to your account, and what that does is enables you to always have a place where all of your analyses are located. So you don't have to download something, you don't have to remember where it is, you don't have to print it out necessarily. So log in to your account, pay the fee for the analysis, upload your photo, upload or type in a little bit of a blurb about the design itself, and then press go or enter or something. I can't remember what it says. And it virtually instantly, you will have the report back. It sits in your account in that dashboard. You can read it there. You can download it. You can print it out if you want to, but it will always be there. so that if you decided you wanted to do a series of one design, then all of the various analyses that you've had done will all be there together in that particular dashboard of yours. No one else has access to it. It stays there until you want to delete your account for any reason, but it's always there for you to access and to reread and to think about again.
If someone is watching this right now and feeling hesitant, what is your challenge to them today?
I want you to go out and pick a vase, pick a container, pick a stick, pick a branch, whatever else it is. Get some flowers, get some foliage, get something that you think works together. Think about why you're putting it together. Take a photo, go through the process of getting the analysis, and then have a read of it and think, does this work for me? Is it right? Is it not right so much as does it tell me something that will help me to develop this particular skill? In all of my years of competing and hearing the public responses to designs that are on in the competition, or in fact the workshops that I run these days, I always hear people say, I don't have a creative bone in my body. I couldn't possibly do that. And yet I have seen them produce things that they surprised themselves about. So there's always a way, there's always something that will speak to you in terms of flowers or plant material. Now, if you're watching this video, you're obviously interested. And so just take the first step. Do something in private. You can have it assessed. It doesn't matter what you think of it. In fact, I've often said to people, the designs that I don't like are the ones that usually win, because my eye is different in terms of what I see and what I want to see in a design. But when I'm doing something for a competition, invariably the ones that I'm least happy with are the ones that have won the best in the prizes, as you can see behind me. So I choose not to judge them myself personally anymore. I will put them through the process of the AI analysis so that I know that I've got those structural, mechanical things right in terms of the principles and elements of design. And then the rest of it really is about the heart of the design, and that will always come down, as all art does, to the viewer's eye. So please just give it a try. See what you can do. It'll be private. No one's going to criticize you. No one's going to say, you should have done this, you should have done that. It's all about accepting that you've taken up the challenge, and here is the feedback for you. It is all about the feedback. The feedback is the part where we learn the most.
Thank you, Kim, for sharing your thinking about the way forward for floral art today. I encourage those who want to learn more to visit the website floralartreview.com or catch up with any of Kim's videos on YouTube. There's over 100 just on analyzing designs alone.